Welcome to Beyond the Press Release, a production of Gorecom, in which we take the time to speak with small cap executives after they put out important news. With us today, we're happy to have them back because we only had them on here about a month ago. That means they're doing great things. Jason Williams and Eldad Tora, they're co-CEOs of Kidoz Inc., trades on the venture under KIDZ, and for our friends of the yes under KDOZF. For those of you new to the story, here's all you need to know because we love big numbers. Kidoz owns the biggest mobile advertising platform for kids and families. How big? There are almost 4,000 apps around the world using Kidoz, reaching over 300 million kids. They're working with top brands, including, you know the names, Disney, McDonald's, Hasbro, Lego. We can go on and on. But more importantly, that's translated to great success. Revenue growth starting from 2017, 1.9 million, then 3 million, then 4.5 million, and then 2020, $7.1 million. Q2 was just announced, $2.18 million, up 196%, and they haven't even gone into the busiest part of their cycle. Why is this happening? Logically speaking, kids are literally abandoning TV. TV has lost 50% of their kids' audience because they prefer to be on mobile. They prefer to be on games. That's where Kidoz is. That's where they're succeeding. But the big news today, and we're going to talk about this, here's the press release. Kidoz extends media offering to teens and parents markets. Guys, welcome back. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, George. Great to see you.
When I first saw this for a second, I was conflicted, and I'm sure you guys have great reasons. So I want to ask you this. You're recognized globally for the fact that you safely reach children under the age of 13 on their mobile devices. And that's a major competitive advantage. And like I said, it's parlayed to great success. Why are you guys now deciding to extend it to teens and parents? Broadly speaking, then we'll go into each of those. But generally speaking, why are you guys going there?
Right. Well, there's a couple of ways to look at it. I'll start. I think one of the important factors here is that what Kidoz is a software platform. We're a technology company. We exist and we build our own system from ground up that sits inside mobile apps and delivers high quality advertising in a safe way, in a contextual way is an important way to look at it. And so while we do this for the kids market, and which is where we've had tremendous success and all this growth is coming from, this same system can be applied almost just out of the box to the teens and parents in that family extended market. And that's what we're doing. We're just moving this technology system from market A to market B, because essentially it's tech that reaches millions and millions of people with high quality advertising, and our advertisers want it, which is something Eldad could talk about a little bit, I think.
I find it interesting that you guys have called this teens and parents, and that nuance is pretty important because you're not going after teens and adults. You're not suddenly going into just trying to advertise on mobile to every adult in the world. You're almost trying to, is it, Eldad, is it correct to say you're almost creating a full family pack now, since you're already at the under 13, now you're going to teens and parents, and you got this family pack that you can really go after?
Right. We see it as a natural expansion to the audience that we're already reaching. The brands that we work with, they have a portfolio of products that expands beyond kids, or for example, they want to reach the parent alongside the kid. For example, for educational services, you want to have the kid engaged, but you also need the parent involved because he is the buyer, right? We have the consumer and the buyer, and they want to approach both of them. But yes, generally speaking, you won't be seeing us promoting banking services or dating services or dating services. The products that we'll focus on are services and products that relates to the family as a family, packaged foods, family vacations,
Right.
home products, quick services, restaurants, etc.
Natural extensions. So let's talk about, we know that the mobile marketing market right now is about 66 billion, expected to go over 400 billion by 2026. So I guess that's a big part of your decision too, where you're saying hey, we're doing so great in the under 13, let's extend to the rest of the family. Which one of these two represents the biggest market for you guys? And I know you're excited for both of them, but which one of them represents the biggest opportunity for you guys to really climb your business?
Well, actually, teens is a huge market. It's a tricky one for marketers, and so we get a lot of unique brands that are looking to reach this segment, and it's a hard one to reach because while kids have abandoned TV, the teens are not watching it at all, and so finding them in games is a natural fit. The big budgets are coming after that parent market. It's a huge market, billions and billions we're looking at. And what we've done with the technology and where we're sitting and the advertiser relationships that we have through our sales network are just fantastic. And so, when we see that 400 billion opportunity in front of us, we know that this company is on a fast track to 100% more. We see that 100 million revenue number, not too many years out. And that's really what we're after, to really scale up this company, and we can do that.
Is there do you have a big advantage in terms of what I want to call, and I don't know the technical term, a continuation advantage, which is if you've already been marketing to George, while he was 7 and 8 and 10, is there a continuation advantage there where you're able to kind of create marketing that plants the seeds for the future, and you have a longer lifetime of customer or consumer in this case, because the kids are consumers, not the customers, but is that something, or am I just dreaming about that?
No, you are partially right. In a way, what we do, the approach that we took when we built Kidoz is we are not relying on personal data, right? We all know, we talked about it before, that we can't trace a specific user. This is forbidden in the kid space. And we took the approach of, instead of identifying who is the user, like Facebook and Google are doing, we are trying to categorize the audience of an app, right? This is contextual marketing in a nutshell. And this was the approach, due to the limitation in the kid space, this was the approach we took. And right now, the whole market is coming to Kidoz. The whole market is adopting the contextual approach, which gives us the advantage, because we are one of the only platform in the world that actually knows to identify the audience of each app that uses our solution. So we can promise advertisers to reach the exact audience they're looking for without jeopardizing or risking the privacy of the user, while giving them exact targeting of their audience, the audience they look for.
I named off some pretty big brands that you guys are working with. To the extent that you're able to say anything, and I got to be careful because you can't disclose things, but have you had some of these brands or some of your other brands already? Have you had, I would assume you've had some discussions with them and saying, hey, GeorgeCom, we're doing so well in the under 13. Here's what we're thinking of doing. I'm presuming you may have had these conversations.
We have, and we have campaigns live.
What kind of response, Jason? Are you
great response, and campaigns are live. I think what's important, and the point you made before, just about consumer being 7 and then consumer being 10. What's important too is you think about the agencies that we're working with, and this is where this money comes from. It comes from the agencies, and the agencies have been working with us since they were 7, and now they're 10. And they're saying, hey, we've got all this money. We know we get great service. We know we get great media from you. You can reach these other groups, and we like working with you, and it works for us. Let's try these other brands that we've brought. And that's what we're seeing. And that's why we knew that this was the right decision, because those agencies, we're talking about hundreds of different agencies and sellers globally that are bringing deals. They're getting great results. They're happy with us. And we're kind of able to scale it up in that way. And so, yes, it's the consumer that we're reaching, but it's the agency partners that are selling to the brands across the world, really. Every single market we're in with sellers. And that's what we're doing.
So guys, I'm presuming then you have every reason to believe that it's not a question of if this might be successful, but now it seems like it's a question of the degree of success, because if you're having that kind of feedback from the agencies, I'm presuming you guys are betting on higher revenues in the future, that you're going to bring the business. It's just a case of how much.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. We already see some big budgets coming in from specific brands already this year. But I think that 2022 will be the year where this will become a significant part of our revenues. So we are expecting this will also help us straighten the seasonality of Kidoz. So we won't be leaning towards Q3, Q4 as a traditional business in the kit space. While approaching those segments, we'll be looking at a steadier and healthier growth line.
So I'm glad you brought that up, Eldad. So when do you guys think, has this initiative already launched? Or are you guys targeting a specific quarter?
No, we're live. I mean, so
Okay.
even before the announcement, we had deals live targeting parent segments and teen segments.
Oh, wow.
And now that the official announcement's gone out, we had materials ready and some segments targeted. And so those are going out to all of our agency partners literally as we speak. And we've got many great leads for Q4 that are definitely going to be activated, and Q3 is ticking along just really as we've planned, and we're super excited about getting that one done and heading into Q4. Really, there's no concerns. Eldad and I are thrilled with the position of the business. It's just about keeping everybody focused and bringing on the right staff, which we've been able to do. And this is just one more kind of aspect that we're chasing, but it falls really in line with exactly what we're doing in the business today. And so it doesn't bring on extra costs. It's just really a natural extension of what we're doing. And we've got more coming that we're excited is going to be, we're not today, but we'll be seeing you again soon for sure.
I love those little tidbits. Jason, what kind of response? So you've already started campaigns. What kind of response are you seeing to these campaigns? Are you happy? Again, I'm not asking the numbers, but you happy with the response you guys are seeing already?
The rebooking is always the greatest response that you want to get. And we've had some great campaigns rebook multiple times quarter after quarter. They're bringing in fantastic revenues. And so we know we can deliver to this segment and keep those brand partners happy. And so they're coming in, and rebookings is always the best signal of anything, and we get a lot.
Customer means they're happy.
Exactly.
You can always get a customer once. Can you get them again?
True.
That's
the key.
So is there a ramp up here, guys, where you still have to, you still have to ramp this up, or because you're a platform, can you just take on as much as you can get, or do you guys want to walk before you crawl?
No, we're getting there. We are trying not to swallow the whole world in one bite, but we are. For us, it's an easy expansion, and the media is already there. We are tied up to the media already, so it's just a matter of doing the booking itself. So for us, we can pretty much consume as much as we'll be giving with.
Yeah, the ramp up occurs as those agencies, they take a nibble of trying a new segment, and then they increase that budget quarter over quarter, and then they kind of set the level that they feel is natural for that brand. And so the ramp up occurs as each new brand is trying, as each new agency is trying, and that will happen through 2022 for sure.
Does this also smooth out your revenue? Because when you're in this strictly under 13, you see some big swings in quarterly revenues, because back to school and Christmas obviously are massive times for you guys, and then the first and second quarter, even though you guys are knocking out of the park, are still your second or your slower quarters. Does this now smooth it out, because you no longer have that big of a disparity between your big season and your slower seasons?
We certainly hope so. We do understand that the holiday season represent a big opportunity, regardless of whether you approach the kids space or not the kids space. Right? Everybody is consuming more towards the end of the year due to the sales and the lift of the spirit. So, but definitely the services that we're in touch with and the products that are selling for the teens and parents market today, they are not looking for this seasonality. They're selling all year long products, cereals and diapers and packaged foods and vacations and family cars are sold and promoted throughout the year. So
that's
we
what I
are
figured.
definitely expecting those type of segments to flatten the seasonality, at least, but not the growth. Growth will continue, but maybe less.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean to say the flatten revenue, that's for sure. But at least it will smooth it out a little bit. So as you're climbing, Yeah, that's I'm glad you made that distinction, but for sure, yeah.
And the more international we become too, the more we see that seasonality flattening too, because we see more revenues coming from other countries that are less dependent on the holiday season or have different holidays themselves. And so we are seeing, you know, an increasing percentage constantly from international business that is helping to flatten that trend also.
Well, and that kind of ties into the last question I had, which is right now, I said at the outset, there are almost 4,000 apps around the world using Kidoz. So entering these markets not only increases your business from agencies, we've talked about that, and brands, that's great, but do you also foresee a growth in the number of apps that are going to be using Kidoz as well? And if so, what kind of growth? I'm not asking for numbers, but do you expect that to be pretty meaningful growth?
Yeah. Obviously, we are expanding also in the inventory side, right? On the media side. So yes, I would say, in a rule of thumb, I would say that the number of apps that will reach for each segment will be more or less similar to what we reach today for kids. So you can triple the amount of apps that we're reaching today to the amount that we'll reach very soon due to some very innovative integrations that we've rolled out recently. So the whole business has a potential to triple in the next few year or two, just by the expansion of those two segments.
And by the expansion of the overall market, right? You're talking about mobile marketing going from 6 to 6.
Mobile ad tech
in 5 years.
Yeah, we're in a great spot.
Jason, I'm glad you said that. Great spot. Fair to say that the company is in the best spot it's ever been in. Is this right now, September 21st, 2021, is this the strongest position the company's ever been in its history? And you guys have had very strong positions, by the way.
Absolutely. No, we're coming into the busy season. We're on a tear in terms of the growth. The tech is great. The team is motivated. The brands are happy. The agencies are motivated. It's hard to find the weak spot right now. We're super thrilled.
Well, congratulations, gents. There's another great jump. What I love about it, it's a logical jump in business. Sometimes companies are guilty of doing something really well and then chasing a whole bunch of chickens, and then everything goes bad. But in this case, I love the fact that you're dominating the under 13, and it's just a natural extension to wrap that family up now with teens and the parents market. And I can't wait to see how well it succeeds. And Jason, it sounds like going back to what you said a couple minutes ago, there'll be a reason for you to come back on.
Oh yeah, there's more.
It sounds
Definitely.
like something great.
No, we got some more great announcements coming, and really excited. So thank you for having us and helping to share the story.
Thanks, guys. Continued success. Can't wait to have you back. For everybody at home, you've been watching or you've been listening by podcast on Spotify, Google, Apple, or your favorite podcast platform, to both Jason Williams and Eldad Tora. They're co-CEOs of Kidoz, trades on the TSX Venture and the stock symbol KIDZ, and in the US, KDOZF. Guys, you've heard the numbers already. 4,000 apps around the world, reaching over 300 million kids. Revenues continue to climb every single year, and now they're expanding their target market into teens and parents. You got to do your due diligence. We can't tell you what to do. Start that at Agoracom first. Get to the company's profile page. Because it's such a big business, we give you a good 1,000-foot overview of the company so you really understand what they're doing. Then head over to kidoz.net. You can see the URL right over both guys to do your deep dive due diligence. Mobile app marketing is climbing from 66 billion to 400 billion in the next 5 years. If you think Kidoz is going to be a part of that, do your due diligence. Just don't say we didn't tell you so. Have a great day. See you next time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, George.
Hey guys, this video is over, but don't forget to help your company by liking it and even leaving a comment below. And then don't forget to help yourself by subscribing to our channel and never missing another great Agoracom small cap video.